People want purebred German Shepherds for a guarantee: the predictable intelligence, the guarding instincts, and a lower risk of unexpected genetic health issues. But there is a massive gap between the dog you want and the tiny animal sitting in front of you. Over the first few months, a German Shepherd's physical features change drastically. This comparison matrix shows expectations versus reality. Relying on an early eye test is a huge mistake. We expect the left, the iconic black and tan coat and upright ears, but the right side shows puppy reality. Purebreds have rounder features, floppy ears, and flat gray coats. Because of this mismatch, it's incredibly easy to look at a mixed-bred puppy and wrongly assume it's a purebred. The visual overlap is huge. Since visual traits are so unstable in these early weeks, first impressions aren't enough to verify a dog's lineage. To get a puppy that actually possesses the specific traits of the breed, you have to use a systematic check of their anatomy and their records. This diagram breaks down the early anatomical scorecard. To evaluate a puppy, we have to start by checking for specific biological markers. We begin with the coat. As we covered, most purebreds are born gray or light tan. The catch here is that these colors transition significantly as the dog grows into an adult, sable or black and tan. Early color simply won't tell you much about their final appearance, so you check the texture instead. You are feeling for a medium-length double coat, specifically a thicker mane around the neck and dense fur running from the thighs to the base of the tail. Finding that specific texture confirms the dog has the biological insulation and weather resistance required of the breed. Next is the skeleton. Built for speed and endurance, a purebred's body is slightly longer than it is tall, moving with a balanced, agile stride. Watching how they run helps you rule out mixes. If the dog is short and stocky or overly lanky in the legs, the skeleton falls outside the breed standard. Returning to the scorecard, we check the head shape. The nodes here highlight a dome-shaped head, a straight forehead, dark almond-shaped eyes, and a nose that must be completely black. The ears are the tricky part. While everyone wants to see those upright triangles, they usually flop over in the early weeks. You cannot demand immediate visual confirmation. You have to wait for the dog's cartilage to mature before those ears will stand up on their own. Because traits like ear structure and coat color constantly shift during development, physical anatomy alone cannot definitively guarantee you are looking at a purebred. Beyond anatomy, you need to watch their early temperament. You are looking for a puppy that confidently explores its surroundings and shows an eagerness to learn. Verifying that courage early on helps secure a dog that actually possesses the high intelligence and working drive the breed is famous for. However, behavior is heavily shaped by environment. A puppy raised in poor conditions might act fearful and suppress that natural confidence, masking a true purebred lineage. If physical traits shift and behavior can be masked, you need hard data. This requires an official breeder pedigree certificate and an independent veterinary health check. This paperwork verifies the exact family tree and screens for inherited health problems, giving you absolute confirmation of the dog's genetics. Getting this level of proof restricts your options to premium breeders. That significantly increases both the upfront cost of the dog and the time you'll spend on a waiting list. Physical traits and early behavior establish a baseline, but only documentation provides 100% certainty. You have to decide if the financial premium is worth eliminating the risk of the unknown. A black nose and a double coat are necessary baselines, but as we've seen, they aren't strict guarantees of a pure bloodline. This flowchart maps out the verification path based on your specific lifestyle. Your first step is to answer one question: what is your primary goal for this dog? If your goal is working or show predictability, you are an investment purist. For this route, you must bypass the visual checks entirely. Paying the financial premium for pedigree papers and a vet verification is mandatory to secure the traits you need. If you are looking for a family companion, you are likely a standard seeker or evaluating a rescue. If you have budget constraints, relying on the anatomical scorecard and observing the dog's early behavior is sufficient, as long as you can accept a margin of physical and behavioral unpredictability. While a pedigree certificate confirms the lineage, the dog's environment and daily care are what determine its temperament and well-being. A responsible owner is the most important factor in a dog's life. Match your verification effort to your lifestyle needs, because whether you bring home a verified purebred or a mixed rescue, Every dog requires a committed home and deserves your full attention.